That moment, I left a comment under that video saying, great hairstylist and a predator.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. Today's video trigger word is about SA, so yeah, it's about SA, so please be warned, okay? So today's video, it's a video I saw and I was like a little bit confused. It's about Shalom Black and Anthony Cott. If you don't know who Shalom Black is, she is a popular YouTuber. She has been on the street of YouTube and influencer and social media for years, and she's fantastic. And for me, I don't know how to be someone in the drama, somebody that is messy with information or messy with drama and all that, especially in the beauty industry. But hearing her talk about Anthony Cott, I'm just like, what's going on here? So if you don't know who Anthony Cott is a celebrity hairstylist and all that. Years ago, Anthony Cott was a big deal. I remember seeing him on my Instagram feed, like doing crazy hair stuff. I'm just like, oh my god, this guy is talented. This guy is big. This guy blew up years ago around that 2017, 2015 era. So this is what happened. A TikToker posted a video just giving Anthony Cott his flowers and like, you know what, well done, this man was amazing work and all that. And then in the comment section, Shalom went there and then left a comment and said, hairstylist and a predator. And that just got everybody talking. If you check that video out, you see like that comment has a lot of comment under it, and which has led to her coming to address the entire situation, because people were calling her, people were like, girl, spill the tea, what's really going on here, what happened and all that. And I feel like people were really pressed on Shalom Black because she's not really that messy type of influencer or content creator. So for her to speak up on somebody like that, people just went to like, what's going on here? Okay, people really wanted to know what's going on. And then she decided to release a video to talk about what actually happened, how she was SA by Anthony Black.
Trigger warning on this video, it is on the topic of SA, so if that is something that triggers you, please go ahead and skip over it. But if not, here we go. So a few days ago, I was scrolling through TikTok and I came across this video from Danielle speaking on how amazing Anthony Cott is and all the fantastic hairstyles that he has done so many years ago and how they have been so great. And me seeing that video triggered the hell out of me. Okay, I have avoided seeing him on my feed for so long, and seeing him being praised really triggered me. So not only do I know him as this amazing hairstylist, but I also know him as a sexual assaulter, because he sexually assaulted me in May of 2017 when I was 21 years old in Chicago in his hotel room. Even though it has been many years ago that this happened, I don't think I am fully ready to really speak on it. But because of seeing that video and me not being able to control my emotion at that moment, I left a comment under that video saying, great hairstylist and a predator. And I kind of just left it as that, and I see the comments of people basically saying that I'm lying, or why would I say something like that and not have any concrete follow-up back, like talking about what exactly happened. And I completely get that, especially in the world that we are in now with false accusation. I see why people will question me. So I guess today, even though I don't think I was fully ready to speak on it, but since I let my emotion allow me to crack the can open, I might as well just open it all the way and talk about my incident that happened in 2017. In 2017, I was asked to join a hair wig tour alongside Anthony and Jazz. And around that time was when my videos really started to pick up on YouTube, and people kind of knew my story about being a burn survivor, being bald. So they did ask me to be a part of it. At first I was kind of like, what would I add to it, because I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not that great at doing wigs. Yes, I do my wigs. So being alongside Jazz and Anthony, I was a little bit intimidated, like what is going to be my role? But they told me I would just pretty much be a host, and I guess also having my name on the tour was kind of like a nice way to promote as well. Excuse me. And I was so excited for this opportunity because I'm just becoming a content creator and having the opportunity to travel the United States, and also to meet amazing creators like Anthony and Jazz. That was enough for me. Even though it wasn't paying that much, I was just like, absolutely, let's do it, sign me up. So I was super excited. So the first city I believe that we went to was Nashville, and that went amazing, and I met Anthony and Jazz on that trip, and yeah, it was just great. And I feel like Jazz was kind of like a big sister to me because she's been in the industry a bit longer than me, and she was a bit older than me. And Anthony, honestly, I've always seen his video, loved his video, but I always just thought like, this is, yeah, I probably shouldn't have assumed this, but I truly thought that Anthony was a gay man. So I never felt any like weird, I don't know how to say, like any weird feeling towards him, because I just thought, you know, maybe he's gay, he's just not out. That means I let my guards down. When we were in Nashville, I believe we probably, you know, we talked about it a lot, and one of those topics was probably on weed. And I remember saying like, yeah, I smoked weed before, but I never got high. Like, I don't think I know how to do it. And I remember Anthony saying like, oh, don't worry, like I would teach you, blase blase. Cool. And I guess the next tour was either skipped, but then the next one was in Chicago, and this was in May. On this Chicago tour, Jazz did not stay in the hotel with us because she was actually based in Chicago, I believe, at that time. So she was home, and we did plan on going out the night that we came in. So this time I was sharing hotel room with the lady's daughter that is basically organizing the wig tour. And Anthony was like across our room. But anyway, so that night we planned on going out together, 3 of us. I'm not exactly sure, like I don't remember if we gave Jazz the wrong address of the hotel that we were staying at, or we just didn't calculate how far the club that we wanted to go to was at. But it came down to us not going to the club. And so when we decided that we're not going to the club, Anthony asked me if I wanted to come into his hotel room to smoke. And I was like, yeah, of course. Again, I did not feel any sense of like threat from him that he could do anything to me. And this is a well-known person. And around that time, me thinking a well-known person would not do anything to like jeopardize, you know, their career. And at the same time too, I'm thinking, this is a gay man, like he wouldn't do anything to me. At least that's what I was thinking at that time. So I confidently went into his room with him and we sparked. And I remember taking about like maybe 3 puffs, and then in a few minutes I started getting high. And while I was like high, I noticed that I started laughing, and this is my first time like feeling the effect of weed. Okay, so I'm cracking up, I'm laughing. Now my body is like moving, I'm dancing because there was a sound coming from the TV, and I was just like dancing to it. I don't know why. I could hear him say like, you need to come sit down. Like he's laughing at me. He's like, you need to sit, you need to sit. And he ended up like pulling my hand to come and sit next to him on the couch. You know, and I thought that was fine at the moment until I started kind of feeling a bit comfortable with the way that he was like very, very close to me and kind of touching me. Like, it was just a bit weird, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Again, I'm not talking, I'm not saying any word, I'm just kind of like there. Almost felt like I have no control of my body or even my mouth to open. And then few moments later, he had pulled me up, and he was like, come on, and he was like dragging me into the bed, and I can still see that room to this day. Like, I don't remember the color, but kind of like the setup of the room. Like, when you walk in, the couch is right here, the bathroom is a bit right here, and then right there is where the bedroom is. So he basically dragged me to the bedroom, and he had me like my head on the bed, like so I wasn't even on the bed. It was just kind of like my head and the top part of my body just bent over the bed. And the next thing I know, he had pulled my underwear down. And I would say this, like, even though I hate this, that I had to go through this every single month, which is my period, but that day my period saved me from being hard. I truly believe that. And I guess when he noticed that I was on my period, thank goodness, that disgusted him, and he was like, oh, you're on your period, pull your pants up. And I was just still laying there, like I was not moving. I can hear him, I can feel the things that he's doing, but I just could not really move and could not say anything. But I guess he like ended up like pulling my pants and basically putting me out of the room. Was like, go to your room. And so I remember like walking back into the room, and I went into the bathroom, and I just sat there like I'm trying to look at myself in the mirror again. I'm very dazed and confused about what just happened, but I kept telling myself, try to remember. Like, I knew that I was high, but I was like, try to remember what happened, try to remember what happened, because I don't know if I wake up the next day if I am going to remember that this happened to me. So yes, thank goodness I did not get R that night, but definitely sexually assaulted by someone that I didn't feel threatened by at all, and I did not see it coming. And so yeah, I was very confused the next day. I didn't know what to do, who to tell. When we got to the class, I just could not even look at him in the face. I did not want to be in the same room. My body was literally shaking. And most of the time I was just sitting there, and I'm telling myself, there is no way, even though I signed a contract, there was no way that I am going to continue with this tour, because we had like maybe 4 or 5 more cities to do. There was no way that I can continue this tour. Like, seeing how I am feeling today, not being able to just even look up and being so afraid, I don't think I can be in the same room as this man. And I also didn't know like if I should report it, because I'm confused. Like, okay, yes, like he didn't arm me, even though I was sexually assaulted, but I also felt like I didn't fight back. I didn't say no, but I also didn't say yes. I couldn't consent to however way that I was being touched, filled on, and having my underwear pulled down. What case do I have? Like, if I didn't say no, maybe to him that meant that I wanted that to happen to me. So I was very afraid, and I just didn't talk to him. And mind you, like in the other tour that we did, I was talking to Anthony fine, like everything was good, but that day was just absolutely different. I just could not. And when the class ended and the tour ended, I think I stayed after with the lady that was organizing the tour and her daughter, and they noticed that obviously that day, like, my energy was just not the same. And I ended up telling them, I was like, I don't think I can continue with this tour. This is going to be my last day of doing this. And the lady obviously went off on me, and her daughter went off on me, like, how could you do that? Like, there's no way you signed a contract. And I'm getting so heated at this moment, because I don't know if I should tell her what happened to me last night, but I also didn't know her enough, like, to feel safe to tell her that. So I think I got so pissed off, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do this tour. I got so pissed off to the point where I think me and her daughter almost got physical, and then out of nowhere I just broke down and started crying. So they were very confused about what was happening to me. Anyway, so the next day I ended up going back home again. After like May 20th or May 21st, I just never spoke to Anthony ever again. He never said a single word to me, and I never said anything back to him. But anyway, I got back home, and I guess the message got to Jazz that I would not be continuing the tour. So she had called me to like ask me like what happened, like why am I not continuing with the tour. And I did kind of open up to Jazz because I felt a bit more comfortable with her. Like I said, I was looking at her as a big sister. So I did end up basically telling her what happened. And I did ask her, I was like, don't tell anybody. I don't know if I ever want to speak about this. Like, I just didn't want any of that attention, especially being that Anthony was very well known. I was just like, I don't know the kind of negative connotation that will come with that, and negative comments. Like, I was like, I'm just not gonna speak about it. Like, don't tell anybody. And I'm not sure if she ended up telling the woman about the incident, but I never went back to that tour again. They did have to replace me. I guess they ended up replacing me with her daughter, and I'm not exactly sure if Jazz also decided not to be part of it, but I believe she also got replaced by somebody else, but Anthony was still doing the tour. So yeah, I am kind of glad, some part of me is glad that I finally got this out of my chest, like publicly, so I can like fully move on, even though it was not easy. And I completely understand why a lot of victims do not come out and speak on cases like this, or even worse, is because first of all, the comments that I was getting, people doubting me or thinking I'm making this up, that alone can discourage someone from coming out and saying, you know, what has happened to them. And also, it's just not an easy topic or discussion to truly ever have, because I blamed myself for so long, because again, like I said, I didn't say no, but I also did not say yes. And the fact that I went into his room willingly myself, and the fact that I decided to smoke weed with this man, I just thought, like, you know what, you have a fault in this as well. But I just want to send encouraging message to anyone that has been through similar ordeals as me. And yes, I am actually a victim of all of those things. I have been sexually assaulted, molested as a kid back in Nigeria. This is something I spoke about on my YouTube channel a while ago. But in my adulthood, I just didn't think, I thought I could avoid it, you know. When it happened in Nigeria, I was a kid. And like I said, like in my adulthood, I thought I could avoid it. I thought I knew how to vent people so that this cannot happen to me. But seeing that even in adulthood, this is happening, and it doesn't make it any easier to speak about it, it's just really sickening. And I hope that like people, victims are really heard and understood, and people are not questioning them. I know people are still going to question me and probably ask me if I have any physical proof. I did not. And if you are wondering, did I press charges? No, I also did not press charges, because again, I'm like, okay, well, it didn't go all the way. So what am I pressing charges for? And half of me basically took the blame that it was my fault for it happening to me. I'm thinking, this is a gay man, like he wouldn't do anything.
Okay, please don't cancel me because I'm too young to get canceled. But all I'm gonna say is something I've noticed in our generation, like as soon as we hear, us women, as soon as we hear that a guy is gay, as soon as we hear that a guy is a little bit, we will get comfortable around them. We won't be as observant as we are with a man from a different sexual orientation. We will let our guard down, which is not normal because there's still a Y chromosome. Like it or not, there's still a Y chromosome and they can still assault you. And something which is even more disturbing is some women are just comfortable letting them around their child because they call them uncle and stuff like, no, he is still a Y chromosome. You don't know. I'm just saying, you still a Y chromosome and girl, we just gotta be careful out there. Even if he's telling you that just be careful, observe every move he's doing. So yeah.
From Danielle, speaking on how amazing.
So yeah, I literally been like moving out of my apartment all day, and I'm getting a bunch of notifications. Shalom Black released the video because I seen the comment, but nothing else followed up after it. So I was just waiting. I reached out to her, I DM'd her on TikTok to see, but I don't think she's seen the message because she doesn't follow me. So I'm watching the video like in the car with my mom. I'm damn near having a panic attack. I'm like, no, bro. Like, yeah, I do not promote or support. That video was down. Like, I just can't believe it. And it's just sad. You never really know because I was literally obsessed. All we seen is what's going on Instagram. I'm obsessed with like his hair, his talent, but that I do not support. I don't promote, support that shit. That video was down. So Shalom, you're strong for even doing that video. Like I seen the people trying to hate in the comments, but I knew it didn't come from out of thin air. So you're even strong for just getting in front of a camera and telling your story. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I triggered you. I literally used to watch you every day in high school. Like I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. But just know, Danielle funny as hell over here. We don't support. We don't tolerate over here. We don't play them type of games. Oh my God. I just don't even know what to say. Like I literally don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
So please go down in the comment section and share your thought about this conversation. Do you know who Anthony Blac? Do you know who Anthony Cott is, and do you know who Shalom Black is, and what do you think about this entire conversation and her speaking up about what happened 2017? So please go down in the comment section and share your thought. For me personally, I would say like I give her kudos for even speaking up after these years. And I understand the time we're in now. Women are beginning to be very empowered to speak up on things like this without feeling ashamed or feeling like, oh, they're going to tell her she's lying. A lot of women get essay but can't really speak up, especially in the workplace or in the career field, because they feel like, I'm just starting up, who do I talk to, who do I explain to? And I understand where she's coming from when she said that because she didn't respond to it, she didn't say yes or no, she was just numb to it. I totally understand. I know some people will be asking the question like, oh, that's not essay because she didn't say anything to it. Maybe she liked it too, and all that. But this is her truth, and she's speaking her truth. And after all these years, she's still triggered. Another reason why I also feel like this story really feels, because it resonates very well with me. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Because while I was in the university, I have a lecturer that SA me. You get so, but come to think of it, this is the first time I'm actually saying it out vocally, publicly, that I just kept it to myself. And a lot of the time people will ask, oh, so why did you go there? Why didn't you speak up at that moment? I could not, and she could not. So, and the way she even gave the story, she talking about how she went to the room. The way she painted the story, you could see her own supposed flaws in the entire story, like where you should be asked questions like, okay, so why did you go in there to smoke with him? Why did you even smoke? La 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 la. I get blah. Let's leave that. The thing is that a man decided to see a girl, a young woman, in a vulnerable place and decided to take an advantage of her. If not that she was in a period, he would have done what he wanted to do. But this is so sad, and I feel like I give her kudos, like I said in the beginning, I give her kudos for even ever speaking about this. And I feel like, yes, nothing might be done about it. There might be no justice about it, but this is a healing process. Because some people be saying, okay, so what was the essence of talking about it now? This is a healing process. This is probably what will make her just feel some type of ease, like, finally, I let it out. At least other young girls going around him will be cautious. Because I can imagine other young girls that has gone through that same thing years after she went through it. And this is so sad. And a lot of men in our society, and they prey on young girls. One thing I found out, like I would say that when I was much younger, men preyed on me more than now that I'm older. Because now, even before you even start taking the steps, or before, like, I know how to, and I know how to put myself together, and I'll set you straight up. And I feel like a lot of men, they are so older women that knows who they are, what they are, women that won't take any rubbish from them. They rather go on the young ones that they feel like they can easily manipulate and get away with it because that young person will not talk about it. And this is like, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this whole story about Shalom Black and Anthony Court. Love to know your thoughts about this SA and almost art like that. Let's have the conversation down in the comment section, okay? Please don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, smash the like button, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.